Imagine a world where evil lurks in the shadows, where monsters walk among us undetected. You might think you know about history's most notorious killers, but prepare to be shocked. Between 1980 and 2005, Takac stalked his prey with chilling precision, using his insider knowledge to evade capture for decades. His victims? Young women and girls, some as young as 8 years old. Between 1992 and 1999, Garavito preyed on young boys, mostly from poor families or homeless. From 1988 to 2003, Cullen moved from hospital to hospital across New Jersey and Pennsylvania, leaving a trail of suspicious deaths in his wake. He administered lethal doses of medications to patients, playing a twisted game of life and death. Cullen confessed to 40 murders, but experts estimate he may have killed up to 400 people. Vlado Tedeschi, a crime reporter from North Macedonia, shocked the world when he was revealed to be the very serial killer he was writing about. Their stories are not just tales of horror. They're cautionary lessons about the darkness that can lurk within seemingly ordinary people. Serhiy Takac used his forensic knowledge to commit and cover up his crimes, showing how expertise can be twisted for nefarious purposes. Robert Hanson's case highlights how the vast Alaskan wilderness could be used as a hunting ground, concealing his victims for years. Their stories force us to confront uncomfortable truths about human nature and the societies we live in. How could these individuals commit such atrocities? What allowed them to evade capture for so long? They challenge our understanding of human behavior and the limits of depravity. But they also highlight the importance of vigilance, the need for improved systems of justice and protection, and the value of remembering even the darkest chapters of our history. For in understanding these stories, we may hope to prevent such horrors from occurring again in the future. And perhaps most importantly, what can we learn from these cases to prevent future tragedies? Between 2005 and 2008, Tedeschi murdered at least 3 elderly women in his hometown of Kosovo. While the killers' names may be etched in the annals of criminal history, it's the lives they took that truly deserve to be remembered and honored. Charles Edmund Cullen exploited the trust placed in medical professionals, turning places of healing into scenes of murder. Gennady Mikusevich's ability to pose as a volunteer in the investigation of his own crimes demonstrates the cunning of some killers and the potential for miscarriages of justice. What led to his downfall was the detailed information in his articles that only the killer could have known. His ability to convince others of his reform while continuing to kill is a chilling reminder of how charisma can mask true evil. Lastly, Vlado Tedeschi's case shows how the line between observer and perpetrator can be horrifyingly blurred, raising questions about the ethics of crime reporting and the motivations of those drawn to such stories. Tedeschi's case blurs the line between reporting and perpetrating crime in a way that is both fascinating and deeply disturbing. His case exposed serious flaws in the healthcare system and background checks for medical professionals. His method was to lure children with gifts or money, then brutally rape and murder them. Mikusevich's crimes were particularly insidious because he posed as a volunteer helping to catch the very killer he himself was. Unterweger was convicted of murder in 1974 and sentenced to life in prison. While incarcerated, he became a celebrated writer, and his apparent rehabilitation led to his release in 1990. However, between 1990 and 1992, Unterweger embarked on a new killing spree, murdering at least 9 sex workers in Austria, Czechoslovakia, and Los Angeles. His case raises disturbing questions about rehabilitation and the nature of evil. He murdered at least 36 women, strangling them with their own clothes or items he carried. What makes Mikusevich's case even more chilling is that during his killing spree, 14 innocent men were wrongly convicted of his crimes, with one even being executed. The scale of his crimes is almost incomprehensible. He was convicted of 138 murders, but the actual number of victims is believed to be over 300. Garavito's case shocked Colombia and led to significant changes in the country's criminal justice system. The official count stands at 37 murders, but Takac himself claimed to have killed up to 100 victims. His reign of terror only came to an end when he was caught attempting to dispose of his last victim's body. Today, we're diving into the dark, twisted tales of 7 serial killers you've likely never heard of. Robert Hansen, known as the Butcher Baker, prowled the streets of Anchorage from 1971 to 1983. Hansen's modus operandi was as cruel as it was calculated. He would abduct women, often sex workers or dancers, fly them out to remote areas in his private plane, and then hunt them like game. Hansen confessed to 17 murders, but authorities believe the true number could be much higher. The Alaskan wilderness became his killing field, and for years, he managed to maintain a facade of normalcy as a bakery owner and family man. These aren't just any criminals. They're the ones that keep even hardened detectives awake at night. From the frozen landscapes of Alaska to the sun-drenched streets of Colombia, these predators have left a trail of terror that will chill you to the bone. Are you ready to uncover the horrifying truth about the most evil serial killers you've never heard of? Let's start our journey in Ukraine, where Serhiy Tkach, a former forensic expert, turned his knowledge of crime solving into a sinister art of murder. Now, let's travel across the globe to the vast wilderness of Alaska. Our next stop takes us to Colombia, where Luis Alfredo Garavito, also known as La Bestia or the Beast, committed some of the most heinous crimes in history. Returning to the United States, we encounter Charles Edmund Cullen, a nurse who used his position to become one of America's most prolific serial killers. Our journey now takes us to Belarus, where Gennady Mikasevich terrorized the Vitebsk region from 1971 to 1985. The story of Jack Unterweger takes us to Austria, where we encounter a killer who managed to convince the world he was reformed, only to kill again. Finally, we come to one of the most bizarre cases in criminal history. These 7 killers represent some of the most evil individuals to have ever walked the earth. Luis Alfredo Garavito's crimes against children in Colombia remind us of the vulnerability of the young and marginalized in society. Jack Unterweger's story is a stark warning about the complexities of rehabilitation and the potential for deception. Each of these killers operated in different times and places, but they share a common thread of depravity that defies easy explanation. As we reflect on these horrifying tales, it's crucial to remember the victims and the impact these crimes had on their families and communities. In conclusion, the stories of these 7 serial killers serve as a grim reminder of the evil that can exist in the world.